Woodrow Wilson was brought up in a religious family in the South. He started his career as a lawyer and then became a professor, university president, and governor. As governor of New Jersey, he supported progressive causes. He introduced the New Freedom Program as president, which aimed to bring about reforms. During Wilson's time as president, Congress approved two significant antitrust laws. In 1914, the Clayton Antitrust Act was passed. This law made it more difficult for monopolies to be created, held people responsible for breaking the law, and acknowledged that labor unions and farm organizations were not trusts. This law made strikes, peaceful picketing, and boycotts legal. In 1914, the Federal Trade Act was passed, and it created the Federal Trade Commission, FTC. The FTC's job is to investigate and take action against businesses that engage in unfair practices on behalf of the government. During Wilson's administration, the FTC was active in issuing orders to companies to comply with the law. Wilson thought that imposing high tariffs made big businesses stronger. He supported the Underwood Tariff of 1913 to deal with this issue. This was the first time tariffs had been reduced since the Civil War. When tariffs were reduced, the government had to find other ways to make money. In 1913, the 16th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, and it brought about the introduction of an income tax. This tax took a portion of the money earned by workers and businesses and gave it to the federal government. Wilson turned his attention to the banking system after dealing with tariff reforms. People living in remote areas had trouble getting loans. Wilson created the Federal Reserve System to address this problem. This system created 12 districts throughout the country, each with its own Federal Reserve Bank, to decentralize power. It managed the money supply well and made it easier to get credit. Wilson's creation of the Federal Reserve was one of his most important reforms. The suffrage movement became stronger due to three reasons. Local suffrage groups increased their efforts by going door to door to gain support for their cause. They connected with communities on a personal level, raising awareness and advocating for change. Women adopted new strategies to generate excitement for the movement. They were inspired by British suffragists and used tactics such as heckling government officials to bring attention to their cause and demand equal rights. Using assertive methods helped to get more attention and support. Moreover, Carrie Chapman Catt's leadership led to a significant resurgence in the national suffrage movement. Catt revived the women's suffrage movement as the president of NASA. She was able to bring suffragists together across the country and move the cause forward due to her great organizational skills and strategic vision. Women gained the right to vote during World War I. During the war, many women supported the effort by doing different things like leading committees, knitting socks for soldiers, and selling Liberty bonds to raise money. They believed that their hard work and contributions during the war should earn them the right to vote as a way of acknowledging their valuable efforts. In 1919, the 19th Amendment was passed by Congress, which was a significant achievement for women's suffrage. This amendment allowed women to vote, and the states approved it the next year, ensuring that women could take part in democracy. Woodrow Wilson, like Roosevelt and Taft, did not actively work towards promoting civil rights. In 1912, he promised to treat African Americans equally and speak out against lynching, which earned him support from the NAACP. When Wilson became president, he didn't support federal laws against lynching. He believed that it was the responsibility of individual states, not the federal government. Wilson's decision to choose cabinet members who supported segregation was a letdown for those who wanted racial integration. Wilson's meeting with an African American delegation caused the African American community to feel betrayed. During World War I, legislators were less focused on making progressive reforms, which further decreased the reform spirit. The war changed what people and the government focused on, taking away attention and resources from fixing problems at home.